you how to do some pigment chromatography today. So what is pigment chromatography? Well, pigments are colorful molecules that are in plants, such as the veggies that we eat, and they make the veggies the color that they are. And they're also important because they help the plant function and live, and they're also important nutrients that our bodies need, such as vitamin A that's in carrots, and antioxidants, like what's in this cabbage. So this is something you can do at home with some basic household items, and you can use whatever veggies you happen to have at home. You don't have to use these specific ones. So all you need are veggies, some coffee filters, some nail polish remover or rubbing alcohol, some containers of some sort. If you're using nail polish, make sure they're not plastic. I've made that mistake. It will dissolve the container. And then I have what we like to call a mortar and pestle. If you don't have one of these at home, you can use a spoon and a bowl and it'll work just the same. So all we need to do is take a little bit of our veggies. We'll start with our cabbage here first. And just rip it up. I'm gonna add a little bit of nail polish remover. This is what we call the solvent. And then I'm going to grind it up. So you just need to grind it up until your liquid turns purple like this. And then I'm going to put this into this cup here. And then I'm just going to cut a strip of filter paper. And place it so that just the very tip of it is in the liquid, and just fold it over like that. Okay, so now I've prepared the spinach and the carrots just like I did with the cabbage. I did cut the carrots pretty finely before grinding them, and that seems to help extract the pigments a little bit better. So now all we need to do is put our little coffee filter strips in and wait. What you can see happening here is that the pigments are dissolved in our solvent, so in this case acetone, and the paper absorbs the solution that contains the pigments in the solvent, and the solution moves up the paper. However, some of the pigments, based on their molecular structure, are more likely to bind to the paper than others, while others are more likely to stay dissolved in the solution. So as a result, some pigments move farther up the paper than others, while others will bind to the paper and do not move as far up the paper. So what we'll get is that the pigments will separate and we can see each of them individually. So you can let this go for about 5 minutes or so. You can watch it so until you start to see lines of pigment on your paper and you can kind of see them separated, then you're probably good to take them out.
What Ella has shown us in this video is a type of chromatography. We could call it coffee filter chromatography. And in any type of chromatography, you have a mobile phase. Of course, that's the acetone in the nail polish remover. That acetone is creeping up the coffee filters. Mobile, meaning moving, it's the moving phase. Whereas the coffee filters themselves are the stationary phase. They don't go anywhere, but they serve as a very important device for allowing the migration composition of the compounds in either the purple cabbage or the spinach, and different compounds within those plants will migrate at different speeds along with the mobile phase, and that allows them to separate and allows us to see them and identify them. So in our spinach, what we can see is that pigments chlorophyll B, chlorophyll A, and the xanthophylls will migrate at different rates along the stationary phase, and therefore we can actually see specific bands that they form on the stationary phase coffee filter. Now, chlorophyll A, B, and the xanthophylls not only contribute to the nutritional content of spinach, but they also are the light absorbing pigments within these plants, allowing the plants to excite electrons from water and make energy from the transport of those electrons through their electron transport chains. Here we see, as we learned earlier, the anthocyanins from the purple cabbage or the red cabbage, depending on your terminology there, will separate out here. And so we can see them migrating within the mobile phase. So this is a really cool way that you can do chromatography all by yourself at home. And of course, be careful with that acetone nail polish remover. But this is a fun way to do some rockin' kitchen chemistry. So thanks for joining us for another Virtual Roadshow.